Hey there everyone, it's me, the Domataku. Good morning. I am still sore throat, so I apologize if my voice sounds like crap this morning, but we are talking about new anime this season, Winter 2020. It's been about 3 days, and I've seen like 4 shows right now, and honestly, they've been really good in my first impression sort of sense. So, last we talked about Love for Asteroid in Love. I always forget the two. But today we're talking about Somali and the Forest Spirit. This one is like a fantasy anime, and this one I was really curious about. And after the first episode, oh my goodness, I gotta give it to this anime and their choice for voice acting. We got freaking Erwin Smith from Attack on Titan with Hestia, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. It's instead of Somali and the Forest Spirit, it's freaking Hestia and the Forest Spirit Erwin. And I'm just like, oh gosh, this is a great anime. Voice acting, 10 out of 10, perfect. You got 2 recognizable voice actors, and they're really good in their role so far in this first episode. So, Somali and the Forest Spirit, what it entails, it's a fantasy anime where this guardian forest spirit, I believe he's a golem, right? He's protecting the forest, making sure it's like all good, and the nature of life and the life of animal cycle and stuff. He doesn't interfere with it, he just makes sure it's all good. And one day he's wandering the forest and he meets upon a human girl. And interestingly enough, in this universe, you know, there's like we call it beast humans and stuff like that, and monster human, I don't know what you call it, demi-humans, I guess. No, not like demi-humans. They're just like, you know, animal, reptile, monster sort of things, human kinds and whatnot, that coexisted with humans. And then of course, because of human stuff, they had a fallout, and essentially human life is on the brink of extinction in this universe. And I'm just like, oh shit, interesting. And interestingly enough, our main character golem guy just runs into this little human girl that's like 10 or something like that, I don't know, and she's like almost in chains. Looks like she was like being, you know, traded off or something like that. So I guess the premise of this show is to have the golem and Somali travel together to find humans, because, well, I guess you can't take care of her, but like, yeah, to find humans, because, you know, you're better off with humans, with your own kind. Except the fact that everyone in the world would probably try to eat this little girl, and like, you know, probably try to kill her or something like that because of what happened with humans and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting, this scenario they put in here. And so far, I gotta say, it's very wholehearted and heartwarming. That's the one I wanted to use. It freaking love is Asteroid and stuff. Yeah, so of course, with this golem thing who has no emotions, he's like basically a robot, sort of a machine sort of thing. He takes his own will and, like, you know, tries to take care of this child, and Somali sees him as his dad, and it's adorable every time you hear Hestia's voice actor call out for her dad. And oh man, I'm just getting so much, like, I love it. I love words. I love Hestia's voice actor. Inori Minase. That's freaking just, this role is great for her. And it's all funny because, like, I imagined it first when, like, I heard her voice, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what if I imagined this little kid screaming out for Belkun? And I'm just like, oh gosh, I know who this is. It took me a while to figure out Erwin's voice, because I'm just like, oh man, I know this deep dude's voice, I just don't remember where it's from. And yeah, so the first episode, really cool. It's honestly, I have a really good feeling about this anime, because they're gonna have a lot of like interaction and relationship sort of thing with Somali and this like father figure that's basically a machine robot thing, and like, you know, how their adventures going off trying to find humans and stuff. And you know, it's kind of what do we call it? It is heartwarming. You know, in the episode, like, there's this one part where Somali is like looking at other like children and their parents and stuff, and they're just like holding their hands and stuff, and he gets jealous, and then it's just like, wholehearted, my dudes. And it's in Hestia's voice. That's just so adorable. And you know, it's very funny because you're basically having this golem trying to babysit this little kid who does the most ridiculous amount of things, like always likes to wander off and chase cats and butterflies and stuff. And like, you know, it's kind of funny too, this relationship, but like, it's really wholehearted in the grand scheme of things. I feel like it's going to be in the later episodes. So far, a really good episode. This fantasy element that they got here, this fantasy world with like animal monsters and stuff like that, and other things, and like, you know, human extinction. It pulls in a lot of interesting factors for me personally, and I'm really curious on where to see how this turns out. You know, will there be humans in the future episodes of this thing? Will they ever actually find humans? And am I going to have to cry towards the end of the series when something happens to the golem, and then Somali's going to have to, like, I don't know, go off on his own and grow up to be, you know, sort of thing. And it's actually kind of funny too. So I didn't mention this, but like they have to keep Somali in like a freaking like Minotaur hood thing with a horns and stuff, and that's pretty funny. But like no one can tell that she's clearly a human unless they like smell her or get a look at her. But like clearly, well, I haven't seen like one human looking figure here. Yeah, sure, they all have eyes and like hair or skin or whatever, but like this little person clearly looks like human if you look at their face. Like aside from the hood and the horns, they clearly look like a human. So I mean, I guess everyone's just like, oh yeah, there's no more humans around. What's a human? You know, it's been so long. You know, we used to like eat them or like fight with them or, you know, keep them as slaves and stuff. And like, yeah, there's no more humans around. No big problem, right? So anyways, that's it for Somali and the Force Sprit. This one's really good, and I'm really excited for this one too, along with everything else I talked about in this thing. I have to actually record those. So, thank you all for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe because my goal for 2020 is to hit 1,000 subs. We are at almost 800, so hopefully that's a thing we can accomplish by the end of the year. I have faith. And stay tuned for the rest of the other videos I'm going to make, so subscribe for that. I have to make Madoka Magia record and then Darwin's game. I also already did Love for Asteroid and Love, so check out those if you've seen that. And I'll see you guys then. So take care and enjoy all the anime this season because they're really good. Really good, guys.